What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. So basically, just to get into it, I'm gonna keep this short because I had to turn the fan off for this and I'm super hot. So I have lost all track of time and months and days. And just recently, my boyfriend and I were talking and we all of a sudden realized that our lease is up in a month and we had to make the decision whether or not we wanted to move, and we decided that we did. So basically, we are going to be moving closer to downtown. I've never lived like in a proper downtown area of a city, and neither has he. So it'll be a really cool experience for the both of us, and I figured why not take you along. I'm probably gonna make, part 2 and 3 of packing and settling in and decorating and all that things, but yeah, I'm excited. If you've ever wondered what the price of living in a big city looks like, this will kind of give you some insight on that. Everything from now on is going to be a voiceover because I obviously had to wear a mask and I didn't want to be disrespectful and take it off just to film a video, so enjoy the voiceover. So here we have the first apartment. This was the only apartment that we looked at this day because it was the only one available. Apparently, I had forgotten to talk to the leasing people about a price range, so both of the ones that you'll see in this complex were definitely out of our price range, but I figured why not keep it in just to kind of give you some insight on what you would be looking at. This specific apartment is 795 square feet, and it's priced at just over $2,900 a month. I really liked how much storage space there was in the bathroom, and I also really liked the walk through to the walk-in closet. Also, just having a walk-in closet is super cool. Our main thing with looking for a new apartment is that we needed to have a window in the bedroom. We have an open one bedroom style. It's a really popular layout in Seattle. The only downside is that yes, you have a wall that separates the living room from the bedroom, but you don't have a door. So we're trying to get out of that and go into a more traditional one bedroom style. Something else I've noticed with these luxury high-rise apartments is that a lot of them have huge pillars in the middle of the living room or the bedroom, and it's really kind of interesting to think how logistically you're just gonna be able to plan around that. I guess you'll have to get super creative with your setup. So this is the second apartment we looked at. This one is definitely more on the luxurious side. It is a corner unit as well, which those tend to be a little bit more expensive on their own. This one runs at 927 square feet and is just over $3,400 a month. It's got a lot of space. It has a shower and a bathtub separately, which is not something that you see very often, so that was kind of bougie. One of the nice things about living in a high-rise is that you are pretty much set up to have just a great rooftop view because you are just so high up. This one in particular, I literally felt like I was at a club somewhere, just the way that it was set up. It is super nice. You'll get to see some really cool sunsets as well. And in our case, we also get to see the beautiful Lake Union from there as well. So you almost get 360 views. Not quite, but close. So moving on, this was the next day, if you're wondering why we're wearing different clothes all of a sudden. This was the second apartment complex that we looked at. Just for some background, we looked at 2 high-rise apartments, and then the rest that we looked at were normal size apartments. This one here is 679 square feet and runs at just over $2,500 a month. This apartment specifically has a city-facing view. We kind of wish that huge building wasn't right there covering all the rest of the city, but what can you do? You'd still be able to see the sunset from this angle, so that would be super cool. The bedroom also has a walk-in closet, which is nice because I have a lot of things and I need space to put them. The building itself was extremely nice. It honestly blew our expectations out of the water. This is the second unit that we looked at in this complex. This one was a lot nicer in my opinion, but it also is more expensive. This one is 788 square feet, so about 100 more than the last one. And this one runs at about $2,800 a month. This one had a wine fridge, which was super cool. Not that we'd probably use it at all, but cool addition. This one was a south-facing apartment, so you would see different parts of downtown. You can't quite see the water, but just a little sliver there in the corner. I really liked how much light that this apartment got. It was also hard to tell because of the time of day, so I'm sure it wouldn't be as light at a different time of day. I also had a lot of bias because this one was staged and the last one wasn't, but it's kind of hard to not imagine it otherwise. This one also had a really big shower, which was cool. This is the common area that attaches to the rooftop. This apartment actually does have basically 360-degree views, which we really enjoyed. Not that it's a necessity, but if you have it, hey, can't complain. There's a couple of community barbecues. Something that they like to sell really hard, I noticed, was that they have this huge hammock, which I think is funny. But yeah, I mean, 5-person hammock, go for it. Not during COVID though, but normally. And not only did this apartment have one rooftop, it has 2 rooftops. It's really hard to not think about this one a lot. This also has the gym on this floor as well. This is about 1/4 of the way up the building, which is kind of cool because then you have a rooftop that's engulfed in the buildings, which I kind of liked. It has a huge projector for movie nights. There's a ton of barbecues. Something that was also super random but cool was there's an art room and a music room. I would probably use the art room, to be honest. We just kept seeing a bunch of different amenities. So here we have the 3rd apartment. This one was honestly our least favorite out of all the ones that we looked at. It was a nice apartment, but you could tell just as the apartment and the building as a whole, they don't necessarily keep up with it too well. This apartment was 723 square feet. I don't quite remember the price because he didn't write it down for me, but I believe it was either $2,100 a month or $2,200 a month. It did get a lot of really great natural light, and it was nice that it was a corner unit, but it just kind of was not the nicest part of town, and we were also really close to the highway, which we weren't super fond of, but just to kind of give you the other end of the spectrum. Unfortunately, with this one, we weren't able to see any of the amenities, not even the rooftop, because they were all closed because of the pandemic, which is understandable. So for this next one, this is the 3rd complex that we looked at. This one here is 610 square feet and runs at about $1,900 a month. I did like this building. I didn't like the apartment, however. It was nice, but it was, like I said, one of the open 1-bedroom styles, which was just not what we're looking for. I did kind of like, though, however, this look through to the living room little part right there. That was kind of cool. There was a big storage unit kind of within the kitchen area, so you could put coats and things like that, which was super nice. But it did stick out pretty far so that the hallways ended up being super narrow, which I didn't love, but not terrible. So this next one I honestly loved. I am such a sucker for loft style homes. I think they're so modern and beautiful. And this one just happened to be staged in the most beautiful way that it was so hard for me to say no to, just because it was a little bit out of our price range, so we weren't willing to really kind of push that, but I still had to add it. I love the decor that they put in here. I kind of just want to take all of that and bring it to wherever we decide to go. This one here is about 795 square feet and runs at just over $2,900 a month. I really loved all the finishing on the cabinets and the counters. I thought it was super sleek. Here's a nice little look from the top. This apartment also had a really spacious patio, which I loved as well. So we did notice with this apartment, there were a little bit less amenities than there were in some of the other ones that we looked at, but what they did have was all really nice, so it definitely wasn't a deal breaker. I also really liked that you could see the Space Needle from here, because during 4th of July and New Year's, they shoot fireworks off of the Space Needle, so we would have a front row seat basically. So with this last complex, I actually really liked a lot of these apartments, and I really wish we would have had more time here. We ended up having to rush because we were trying to make it to a different appointment, and they ended up showing us 4 units instead of 1 or 2, and so we were pretty much just running between each one. And of course, this ended up being the biggest complex. It actually had multiple buildings that you had to go outside to get into a different building to get to a specific apartment, so we were pretty much just running around. So this apartment here is 715 square feet and priced at just over $2,100 a month. I did like how spacious it was, however, I didn't love that the bedroom looked right into all of the other apartments. It just feels a little bit less private that way. It did have a really big closet though, so that's a plus. For some reason, this second apartment, every time I look at this footage, I completely forget even being in this apartment. I don't know why, but I keep forgetting every time I look at it. This one here is 771 square feet and is $2,200 a month, and it has a big pillar in the bedroom, which didn't really love, but I did like the rest of the apartment. Now this one, this was honestly probably in my top 3 choices. This one is freaking massive. It is 826 square feet and priced at $2,300 a month, which I think is honestly a steal. It gets a lot of light because it is a corner unit, and the only downside was kind of like the first one. You're looking directly into somebody else's apartment pretty much, so that's honestly big to us just because, not that we're doing anything weird, we just want our privacy. But I loved the huge island and the light that it was getting. It's just honestly, it's so nice. This last one, I have never seen a layout like this before. It was so interesting, honestly. It's like a big circle. I did love how it had 2 separate wardrobes, so we could both just keep our clothes separate. I didn't like, however, that the bathroom was super dark. That makes it kind of hard to shave and do all of those things that we do. So you can see this is the bedroom, and then it goes directly into the living room, which seems cool in hindsight, but then when we were thinking about where we would put a couch and a TV and all those things, you pretty much have one wall and one option for that, because otherwise you would put it in front of the bedroom door. So I'm not really sure how that would work, but it does have a nice patio, and it was a nice apartment overall. It just kind of didn't really make sense. All right, well, that was basically all of the apartments that we went to look at. Let me know in the comments which one was your favorite. I'm kind of curious to know what other people think. We're having a little bit of a hard time deciding. I think we're kind of set on one place, but you know, we're open to other options. We're definitely having more of a hard time picking a unit than a building, so that'll be tricky. We're just gonna have to make a decision. And also the hard part is finding a perfect timing. It's so hard to find the perfect timing to move out of one place and into another without it like overlapping somehow and having to pay extra. So that did end up happening to us already, of where we found one, but it is not available until the month after we're supposed to move out. So we don't know if we want to try to do an extra month here and maybe pay the cost of that and then move, or if that's just going to be too much of a hassle. I don't know. Moving is such a damn pain, and it is very rewarding though, I have to say. I love getting into a new place and decorating and all that fun stuff, but the moving part itself sucks. But yeah, let me know what you think. Stay tuned for the rest of our moving journey, and as always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.